Hi, and welcome to the part 2 of the prelim exam, in which I'll be setting up 3 virtual machines, which is the server, user 1, and user 2. So let's try first the server. So for the IP config of the server, let's start with the IP address. So let's change it to 192.168.23.10. And for the gateway is 192.168.23.2. Then after setting up the server, we'll proceed to the user 1. Here we'll be setting up the IP config for the user 1. So for the IP address, we'll be using 192.168.23 and 12. And for the default gateway, we'll be using the default gateway from the server. And then after setting up the two, we'll try to ping both. So first, we'll try to ping the server from the user 1. So as you can see, there is an error, and we'll see why is it returning an error. So as you can see in the server, the IP address is not complete. So we'll complete first the IP address, and then let's ping. So let's go back to the user 1 terminal, and then as you can see, it returns successful pinging. And then in the server, let's try to ping the user 1, and it should be successful also. So as you can see, it is successful. So for the user 2, we'll be setting up the user 2, so it might take too long. So I'm gonna cut it from there, and then as you can see, it is completed. So let's try to set up the user 2. So let's run IPconfig, and as you can see, the IPconfig is shown, and we'll be changing it and align it with the server and user 1. So for the user 2, we'll be changing the IP address, and let's align it with the user 1 and the server. So for the IP add is the 192.168.23 and 12. Then after setting up, let's click OK, and then let's try to ping it with the other. So, but before that, let's check the IPconfig if it is already changed. So as you can see, it is changed. So let's try to ping the other virtual machines. So let's try to ping the server first, and as you can see, it is successful. And then let's try to ping the user 1, and as you can see, it is successful also. And then for the other virtual machines, let's try to ping the user 2. So as you can see, it returns request timeout because I forgot to turn off the Windows firewall from the user 2. So let's turn it off first. Then after turning it off, let's try to ping again, and it should be successful. So as you can see, it gives us the reply now. So it means we have configured the user 2 successfully. And now let's try to ping the user 1 also, and it should give us the reply, and as you can see, it is successful. And for the user 1, we'll try to ping both server and the user 2. So as you can see, it is successful and it returns replies for all virtual machines. And for the last one is, let's change the name of the PC. So for the user 2 is, let's change the name to CCS DC02. Also for the user 1, let's change the name also into CCS DC01. Then let's click next, and it should be successful. So it is successful, the name is changed. And lastly is for the server, let's change also the name into, let's name it into CCS DC00, which is the name requirement for the server. So as you can see, it is all changed successfully. So that's the part 2 for the so that's all for the prelim part 2 exam. So all 3 virtual machines is successfully connected and configured. So that's all. Thank you for watching.